Well, it is no secret that Maine's craft beer industry has been booming. Our state remains one of the top craft beer destinations in the country, but trends are changing due in part things like market saturation, demand, and rising costs.
All of that and more is expected to be discussed at the New England Craft Brew Summit coming up next week. Here to tell us more is Executive Director of the Maine Brewers Guild, Bryan, and President of Baxter Brewing Company, Jennifer Lever. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
We love talking about beer around here.
I wish we could do that every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this annual summit, the goal, and some of the highlights this year.
Absolutely. So we'll be meeting on Friday, March 7th. We expect anywhere between 400 and 700 brewers to join us for a full day of seminars, panels, presentations, and a good amount of craft beer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So are there the brewers from all over the country or just around the state or the region?
Mostly we focus on Maine and New England. We are the largest regional conference in the Northeast, and we really go all out. It is our biggest event of the year.
Yeah, it's a big one. So Jennifer, as the president of Baxter Brewing, what have you seen as far as trends and challenges? So much has kind of changed. It sort of seems like it's always evolving.
Certainly. I think, one of the biggest pieces of conversation on everybody's mind right now is how are we diversifying. So we've had a number of really large and small breweries diversify into the seltzer market. At one point that really didn't exist. Now looking at the Delta 9 products, hemp-derived THC beverages is another piece, non-alcoholic. Baxter, we just released a non-alcoholic, and we're not the first. We've got some great representations of gluten-free options across the state. So drinkers are changing, tastes are changing, trends towards the dry January months and just winter in Maine. People are needing to respond to that.
Speaking of the trends, we've talked about non-alcoholic beer a lot. Is that a trend that's going to keep growing and growing and growing, do you think?
We believe so. I think, one of the biggest takeaways from the summit is the national look at where trends are coming from Bump Williams Consulting is a Brewers Association national level look at where trends are going for drinkers now, projected 60 days, 90 days, kind of where things have happened. What grocery stores are investing in for space within non-alc is usually pretty indicative as well. And you'll see that the footprint in down to your gas and convenience is growing within the non-alcoholic options.
Yeah, Sarah, what are some of the other benefits of sort of bringing all these brewers together, and they all have different styles and different methods, and being able to be in the same room? What are some benefits of that?
Maine and New England are unique in their concentration of really talented brewers. We have some of the best brewers in the country living here in Maine, living in New England. And I think the opportunity to get everybody in the same building for a full day of learning is invaluable for them. It's really difficult sometimes to get out of your brewery. It's a very dynamic, demanding line of work. And so it is a rare opportunity where we can come together. And then besides that, you get to see your friends and colleagues. Sometimes you haven't seen those folks in a year since the last summit. So we really are looking forward to it.
Yeah, it used to be, we're known for restaurants. We're known for the ocean, the mountains, lobster, blueberries, potatoes. Now, we are such a destination for craft breweries. Why is that, you think?
I think people, first of all, if you come to Maine, it's never your last time in Maine, right? I think we have an incredible local economy that really supports small businesses. For 4 months of the year, we double our population, which is really unique to any state, let alone a tourist state like ourselves. But to be able to keep all of these breweries going in that 6 to 8 months when we don't have the spike in tourism, I think is really indicative of how people feel about local small businesses. I don't think you could probably find somebody in Maine, regardless of what city you're in, that doesn't know someone who started a brewery, worked at a brewery, works at a tasting room, and has some representation or tie to one of our breweries, which I think is unique and incredible. And I think people feel that difference when they come into our tasting rooms. It's real, authentic people trying to make a living doing something that they love, rather than, we're not making widgets. There's a lot of creativity and heart that's behind what we're doing.
Yeah, it's an incredible community, truly. And Sarah, tell us more about the Maine Brewers Guild in general and the work that you do year-round besides the summit.
Absolutely. We are a nonprofit that advocates for the independent brewing industry of Maine. We've been active since 1986, and this is our 9th annual summit. Wow. So we spend a lot of time working with over 150 of our breweries, working together to find common ground, to push legislation forward, to host events, and to drive awareness of our business needs.
Yeah, we kind of touched on non-alcoholic beers and also gluten-free beers. How can the brewing industry here in the state just continue to evolve?
I think that that's what's incredible is like there's no roadmap for us, and we keep figuring that out. You know, we're very fortunate to have been led by some pillars of the industry that are still operating today. You know, Allagash being recognized on an international level for a style that most of us choose not to get into and have that be really proudly represented, I think speaks worlds for like the consumer trends are also always evolving and changing. You know, lagers are on a rise. I think breweries tend to prefer lagers when you work at a brewery, but your milkshake IPAs, your sours, those things are still alive and well, and people are coming up with new and dynamic ways and ingredients and dynamic to what they're doing. Collaborations, mergers, acquisitions, you get creative people together, and who knows what's next.
It's true. It's a concept that's reflected in our theme this year, which is the fermentation of change, redefining the craft beer industry. We think we're at an evolution point, which poses some challenges, but also poses opportunity for new ways to innovate and listen to the market.
Yeah, it's kind of an exciting time as
Yeah.
well. You could view it that way. And let's talk about, there's a special speaker that we're going to hear from at the summit.
It's true. Our keynote speaker this year is Sam Calgione, who's the founder of Dogfish Head Brewing in Delaware. He is a incredibly well-known and dynamic speaker, truly, truly wonderful, and we feel very fortunate to have him. He is also hosting a kickoff event the night before at Novari Res on March 6th that we're very excited about.
Oh, that's going to be the 60-minute IPA. I love.
Yeah, he's just a pillar of the industry. So
Yeah.
to bring that to our membership and have you know, really affordable seminar price and have speakers like himself and some of the panelists that we have coming in are also coming from incredibly well-known breweries, really offering their knowledge base for all of us to learn from, which is incredible.
What's a website where you can learn more about it and what's going on for this weekend?
You can learn more at mainebrewersguild.org.
All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. It's an exciting time.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. know, and the event should be a lot of fun. I guess we got to go.
There you got to go. And I might have to crack open a beer when I get home.
There we
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Yes.
We can help you
Cheers.
with that.
Okay, sounds good.